We heard you, Darklings. Why be alone on New Year's Eve when we could all be together? So I have put out the call to all four corners of the world, which is weird because it's round and there's really not supposed to be corners on something that's spherical, which is a weird turn of phrase, but I digress. We're all here, ladies and gentlemen. The entire Paranormal 60 news crew is assembled, and we are here for your entertainment. Some of you may disagree with that by the end of the show, but we're going to give it our best. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the brand new Ring in the News Year 2024 edition of the Paranormal 60. Hello, friends. Welcome as we approach here in the Central Time Zone the final hour of the year 2023. Why, it seems it was just a week ago and we were entering COVID and the world was a harmonious place. Let's reflect, shall we? Maybe the booze is already talking and there wasn't as much harmony as I remember, but here we are. We've made it to the precipice of 2024. And before we go any further, let me introduce to you the paranormal crew that you need to know. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, #Scotchy. Good evening, sir.
Good evening and Happy New Year to you, Dave.
Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, the only other constant of this program over the last 2 years. He is a detective. He is paranormal. He is the author of the widely read Messages from Mothman. How do I know that? Because I've read it widely every night. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Lawson. Hello, Greg.
Hey, old buddies. Good to be here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Huh?
And as it all started 2 years ago,
2 years.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, the Colonel.
Wow.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys. Good to be with y'all.
It is good to have you here. We were worried that you wouldn't make it, but I'm glad that you were able to make this holiday gathering happen. As a matter of fact, the Colonel was one of the few of us that reached out and said, "Hey, what's everybody doing for New Year's Eve? I'm in Hawaii, and I'd like to connect with you guys." And I said,
Yeah.
I'm sure we can all cancel our plans, which were well laid out, and we'll accommodate because we love you, Colonel, and we want to make sure that we could spend this evening with you. So welcome to the show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Something feels a little off. I'm not sure.
No, it feels good. Feels good.
Greg's color is good tonight, so.
Yeah, Greg's color's good.
Oh.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it's the fact that the Colonel looks like he's using a graphic from MySpace and AOL dial-up.
1980 MTV.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it is.
It only took me 2 hours to download it, but it worked.
And I think it's still rendering, if I'm being honest with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest addition to the Paranormal News crew, the one and only Sweet Tea, is here as well. Apparently, in the midst of words is hard. I didn't even start drinking until like 15 minutes ago. I thought it'd take a while to hit me. It looks like you're in the midst of upheaval there, Sweet Tea.
That's right. This cruise has been wild.
Is that the mighty Poseidon, the most luxurious cabin cruiser in the world?
Have you heard of it? It's amazing.
Except for
Having
the
a
fact
great
that
time.
you seem to be in a cabin that's everything has been glued upside down.
They go all out for New Year's. It's great.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's
I
incredible.
forgot that was a New Year's Eve movie, Sweet
Yeah.
Tea.
See,
Uh,
Sweet Tea's. Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's
She
that
is.
Hawaiian internet right
How
there.
is it that she's getting better
You know,
signals
Sweet
than I
Tea's-
am and she's not in the sea? Exactly.
Look at that. Dial up is still going strong. Colonel, when you connected tonight, did you have to listen to a lot of Yes. Yeah, that's our government dollars at work,
Hey,
there, folks.
please, no one call me because I'm afraid it's going to screw up with my. There you go. Yeah. No calling me on the phone.
I'm glad that we could all be here to spend a little time together on New Year's Eve. I did this last year, last minute. I popped on and we had a nice little evening full of fun. And we want all of you watching out there to know that you can be a part of tonight's show. You can ask questions in the chat, whether you're watching on Facebook or on X or on the YouTubes. Yep, hold on. We'll get to that. Give me a second. You can send in questions and quick on the trigger, Chachi. He'll be the first one to pop them up, and we will do our best to answer them. We have a couple movie reviews that at least two of us prepared for.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to do movie reviews, talk about some fun stuff you could do tomorrow while you're sitting at home bored, not sure what to do, and getting over all of the drinking that you've done tonight. Speaking of drinking, let us begin with you, Chachi. What is your drink of choice?
So everybody knows, I think. Forgive me. Let's get that beer.
Wow.
Oh God, stop.
This is Glenlivet Fusion. It's a new Scotch from my favorite distillery, Glenlivet. Picked up a bottle a couple days ago, and it is now empty.
What is it a fusion with?
It is Scotch that is matured in rum casks.
Okay.
There you go.
That's the fusion. I thought that's the case. Like when we were in Jameson country, weren't some of those?
Oh, it's very common. Yeah, just Glenlivet hadn't done it.
Oh,
A little
Not that I
slow on the.
yeah.
I'm trying to keep it
Hawaiian
pure.
internet. Glenlivet was a little slow. How about you, Party
Like
G,
my-
Greg? What have you got going for us?
Hey, old buddy.
Bud Light.
I got a little reserve going on, and I don't know if you can see it or not. I'd like to see, but I'm using my Paranormal 60 tumbler, and like we do it in Texas, it's chilled with bullets. Mhm.
Chilled with bullets.
Wait a minute. Like actual bullets?
Yeah, the bullets. You put them in the refrigerator or freezer, and they're cold.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
like
know,
Texas.
Greg, don't do that. Don't put it in your mouth, Greg.
All right. Yeah, just keep it in the drink.
So what is it you're drinking? You're drinking what?
Oh, bullet.
Bullet.
Cheers.
Okay. All right.
Bullet,
Fair
yeah.
enough. Colonel, what elixir of youth have you brought to the party?
Well, I've melted some bullets, and I'm actually drinking the liquid as it's cooling off. So yeah.
Nice. That's why you are America's greatest hero. Yeah. So you're not going to tell us what you're drinking tonight?
Pepsi.
I'm drinking some beer from a local brewery, Maui Brewing Company. Good stuff. Love it.
Very nice. I have got Red Bull, the special red edition, with some birthday cake vodka inside.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's
What does
fun.
that taste like?
Mm.
Actually, it's delightful because this is watermelon flavored Red Bull
Oh,
with that vanilla. It sounds like it'd be too much. It's not enough. And then to top it off, my last container of Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia for 2023.
I didn't know we could bring food to this party.
You
Wow.
usually do. What do
Wow.
you mean you don't know you could bring?
Ow, it's your McDonald's.
Got a bag down here.
We've had Big
Doing this great.
Macs,
I'm watching
we've had-
you like, yeah, he's dumpster diving cheeseburgers.
Is McDonald's open right now?
That's right.
Oh,
Sweet tea,
Exactly.
what did you prepare for this evening?
I made a little cocktail called New Year's Eve bubbly. I don't know, whatever.
Well, okay, good.
Wow.
it's just
have
me. It was
bullets in
really
it?
hard to get an answer from 3 of the 4 correspondents on what they were drinking.
You know what? So many manly drinks, and then Dave's, and then mine. And you know what, you guys, so manly. I just got to say that.
Wait,
What?
Thank you.
toxic.
What?
Because I'm drinking strawberry Red Bull with birthday cake vodka. I hear it now
No.
that I said it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So we're all together. We've got so many people from around the world that have joined us live here tonight. Chachi's running your questions. You had one popped up earlier, Chach. The floor is yours, sir. Start bringing people and their questions and points and counterpoints, and we will discuss them, willy and nilly here.
Look at
All right,
those.
start loading me up, folks. You know I love to do this. The first question we saw was, how many flasks does Chachi have prepared for this evening? And so we have just a small 18-ounce glass of scotch.
18 ounces.
And then I brought a Yeti filled with scotch in case that gets empty.
And should that Yeti also get emptied? Is there a bucket somewhere behind you?
Anyone that's been to my house knows I have plenty.
Oh, trust me, there's a
I will
bucket
not
there.
go dry this evening.
There is a
Well,
bucket.
How
We
do you
also-
differentiate the buckets? The scotch bucket and the waste bucket.
He licks him, dummy. He knows the difference.
It just doesn't
Oh.
matter. Whatever happens to be in his mouth.
That's right.
Ooh.
Wait a minute, Colonel.
Wow.
Oh, wait, we got a bad connection with the Colonel. We're going to have to drop him. Let me see.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's out of control.
Yeah, I broke up. I'm sorry. I broke up. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. It's exciting. A lot of people home alone, being smart, not going out in a cold, icy night, knowing there's a bunch of lunatics on the road. So instead, you decide to spend your time with a bunch of lunatics right here. As you look back, fellow news crew, at this past year, what are some of the stories that have kind of popped in your head that you remember that you think, this was a compelling piece of information that we got this year? Chach, let us begin with you.
I'm going to say that I think the stories that got the biggest response from the listeners has to be about all the work around Uranus this year.
There has been an alarming amount of work around Uranus. And
Is that
It seems like it's constantly being investigated this year. And I don't
tonight,
know why this was the year.
lots of drilling?
tonight there was
Wow.
like major articles on like three or
Yeah.
four news sources saying we've never had a clearer look of Uranus, as we're getting right now from the I don't know what the name of the guy. Hubble
Hubble telescope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said Howell.
Really?
telescope. Yeah, that was
Mr. Thurston
That
Howell
was
y'all
weird.
in
Thurston Howell the
1990s?
third. Yeah, telescope.
telescope.
Hubble.
Yeah, it just seems that we ran into one of those, once a month probably? There was some new breaking news about Uranus.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the one story that would not go away.
As much as people hoped it would. It
No.
didn't. I don't know if you even know this, Colonel, but there was so much news regarding Uranus this year.
Mm-hmm.
Blind Dog
Mhm.
is a song.
The paranormal news crew knows they're gonna show you how science goes. So listen up and learn. They're probing Uranus. They're probing Uranus.
That's pretty exciting.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Listen, if there is
That man
so
is
much
amazing.
going
He
on,
really, it is beautiful. Yeah. Who said that? That was perfect.
Yes. What Chach?
no, I was just saying that if Blind Dog has to get involved and write a song, it's important to what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Because I think, other than our theme song and maybe the
yeah.
song he wrote about your story, was the Colonel just throwing in Yaz for the heck of it?
Yeah. He's just
It's on delay.
part of the show.
Yeah.
It's on delay from 1998.
Little delay.
Is it still November where he's at? Is that the problem here?
Yes, we're
Actually,
bouncing things off of.
I'm going to start agreeing now so that when what you say,
Exactly.
That's
what
a
I
good
was
plan.
thinking.
Whoever is calling the Colonel, please hang up. He cannot take phone calls while he's running the internet. Oh my goodness.
All right, Greg, how about you? What news stories really kind of leapt out at you this year?
Well, Dave, if I were to, I can't point at one. I'm going to have to do a compilation. I found this kind of through story or this. Yeah, I know this through thought, which would be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we heard a lot of stuff from witches talking about spells.
Right.
We heard some from religion talking about prayer. We talked about manifesting last or show, which would be kind of a spiritualist. And we've talked a lot about science and cosmology and quantum physics.
Right.
It seems to me spells,
Mhm.
manifesting, prayer, quantum physics, we're all talking about the same thing. Everybody's trying to
Hey,
explain
Dave, what was the question? I
things
forgot.
through these.
What news story stood out the most? But no, he's right on this case. And it's almost like a book should be written about these kind of
What's
concepts.
that?
What would the topic be?
It would be like, I don't know. I'm envisioning Messages from Mothman as written by Greg Lawson
Who's
with
that?
a forward by Chip Coffey. Yeah. And this is your last night to purchase that book and send me the receipt. I have to have a copy of the receipt in my email box by noon, no later, noon central tomorrow. Buy your copy of Messages from Mothman online. Send me a screen grab of the order, and we will enter you into the drawing. I will be doing the drawing tomorrow at the end of our regular episode. So, yes, you're going to have to sit through the entire episode, but it's going to be a good one. We're going deep into ghostly activity. Allie Krause and Larry Eisler III are going to join me to talk about the paranormal. That's tomorrow night. And then at the end of the show, we're going to do the drawing where you get, we'll pull one name who's going to get an autographed copy of Messages from Mothman. You get an autographed copy of my book, The Other Side. And then when my new book is released at the end of January, you will be the first to get a signed copy of my book, Theater of the Mind, Tales from the Darkness. And it is stories with time slip phenomena and UFOs and aliens and ghosts and black-eyed kids. It's going to be great. So that's what you're in for.
Well, I just want to know. Now, I believe Party G there, you sent a copy to Loki for free. Is that correct?
Not for free.
Oh, not for free. Okay.
I think Loki has probably donated the most of everybody combined, possibly.
I don't know about that because Deb from SAC. You stop messing. Bad touch. I want to see Dave do striptease for us. It's New Year's. Woo-hoo. Wow,
There you go, Dave. Go.
Bottle early too.
And you're on, Dave.
Let him polish off that Ben and Jerry's first, and then
Let me get all nippied up with that. Thank you for the donation, Deb from SAC. We appreciate it. Deb might be the second in there with it. We've had so many great people donating this year to the show. It's hard to say. So you're thinking the manifestation, the fact of prayer work, and the fact that quantum physics are all kind of coming into play this year. You think that's something pretty interesting.
I think everybody in those disciplines are trying to explain what it is. The thing about it is none of them are saying it doesn't happen. The scientists are using quantum physics. This is why this is happening. Spiritualists use manifesting and say this is why this is happening. People who pray say this is why these things are happening because of prayer. And same thing with magic. They're saying this is why things are happening. So possibly we're all talking about the same thing, just in different disciplines.
We had a great question here. Let me see if I can find it. I can't see who it was. It rolled by so quickly. They were asking if my book will be available on Amazon. It will, but if you want signed copies, you'll have to go to the Paranormal 60 swag shop. I'll have signed copies of my book there, and you'll be able to order them directly from me, and I could personalize them. The ones on Amazon are cool. You can get them. They won't be signed. But if you want the signed versions, you can get them right from my website. So I'll let you know as those come out. We'll continue with that. Well, Uranus has been neglected when it comes to exploration. I don't know that that's necessarily true, Winnie Schrader.
Oh,
yeah, very weird. Very
didn't
weird.
need to know that much.
Weird, strange crew we have watching the show tonight.
Wow.
How about you, Sweet Tea? What news really kind of jumped out at you this year?
That's what I want to know.
Is it? I don't even remember what happened last week, but what I do remember is a lot of haunted dolls. Seemed like they were everywhere this year.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Dave, did we show the video on the show of when you were on the
Yep.
the local morning show?
Yeah.
That was a fantastic video. I was literally at a New Year's Eve party earlier tonight, telling somebody that we were getting ready to go live tonight. And I was telling that story, and they're like, "You got to be kidding me! That happened?" So I pulled it up, and they're like, "How does that happen?" And this was someone who was very much a skeptic, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to listen to the show tonight." So,
well, what's that person's name? Could we welcome him to watching the show?
his name is the Colonel.
Not familiar. Speaking of, we have a Colonel of our very own.
Wow.
And
I'm on that.
Colonel, strange, supernatural, paranormal themed news. What stood out to you most this year?
This year really has been the UFO videos and the discussion of UFOs. And you're probably going to get this information from me about 15 minutes from now. So hopefully so UFOs, the whole UFO issue and the
just keep going, Marty. Don't quit. Just keep the full sentence. Or is the messages in the brain? Are you trying to translate the Morse code?
I think he's hearing himself.
I have no idea. I have no idea if you guys are getting this or if
We're
it's
getting
like
it.
come on board the show tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So
Just use
thanks,
your
Greg.
words, man. Use your words.
Appreciate it, man.
UFOs. So UFOs was the big takeaway for you this year.
UFOs.
Great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Woo. There we go.
All right.
They're starting to shoot fireworks already.
Yeah. Well, if the fireworks come out, don't worry. We can put them out. We know how to
That was a big story this year.
Yeah, we're good. We're taken care of. Yeah. That was a big story.
To me, it was an interesting year with cryptids, and there was so many different sightings of strange beings, from winged creatures in New York to Sasquatch sightings in a few different states, that although the footage is not real telling, the people sharing the stories have, I don't know, there's been elements of that to me that make it even more fascinating. Some strange Nessie sightings. There's that one piece of drone footage shooting down where you see this thing under the water. That was pretty compelling and pretty cool. So to me, the cryptid realm came alive this year as well, and has certainly given us pause to reconsider things. They did a couple of different major tests over Loch Ness, testing the water. They've come up with the conclusion science believes Nessie may be a giant algae monster. Tressa, not a big fan of the old algae monster.
Well,
Nope.
I don't
Awesome.
think she likes that theory.
That is wait, is that the
Wow.
sound of the Colonel's connection or sweet?
That was the
Yes.
silence.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
Yes.
Can we go to a question here?
Yes.
Beautiful.
What are the best questions to ask spirits to get the best response? That comes from Yvonne King. Yvonne, you might have the best profile picture.
Agreed.
That back up again. Yes, Yvonne, that's awesome. What are the best questions? When trying to communicate with the other side, I think that it's in showing respect. And I always encourage people to think outside the box. If you're trying to talk to spirits, find out what they liked or what era you might be in. And then, if it's children, what games did you used to like to play? What songs were your favorite songs of that era? Can you hum some of it for us? Can you whistle it? Trying to get them to engage in things that are different than just what's your name? What year were you born? When did you die? Do you know you're dead? That seems boring to me. If I was a spirit, I'd walk in the other room and go, I've answered this question 2 million times. But if you came up and engaged me in a way to show that you have some real interest in communication, that would be impressive to me. And that's what I've tried to do in a lot of the different programs and live events, is trying to find what is that strange hook to the situation. If there's also animal ghosts there, I'll ask about the animal ghosts. Can you see them? Are you able to pet them? Are you able to, are you both on the same playing field? Are you both in the same level, or are you unaware of the dog ghosts that are seen here? And sometimes we get some really fascinating responses from the spirits, as though they're very well aware of all the other spirits from all the different time eras, and us and animals. sometimes they seem like they are isolated. And although people are seeing a little girl's ghost from the 1800s and a old man's ghost from 1970, and an elderly woman's ghost from 1925, none of them seem to be existing in the same ethereal plane where they can interact with one another. And that opens up a whole bunch of new what if questions. And how do we then incorporate this? Is there a way to bring these spirits together and maybe have them help each other?
Are there any questions you stay away from asking, Dave?
Somebody, and I'm trying to remember who it was, somebody brought up to me this year, and it might be Sharice Williams. You've talked to her a couple times too, Sweet Tea. Was it Sharice that said to kind of stay away from the painful questions, like about their specifics about their death?
I'm not familiar with her saying that, but it sounds like something she would say.
Yeah, I've heard some great advice on a couple of those things, but yeah, trying to stay away from the more painful experiences. If these spirits are reliving that and you keep poking that, they may not want to interact and kind of relive that moment.
If
You know,
they
I
are like the spirit of an actual human at some point, treat them with respect and not like, would you ask an actual person that? That's, I feel like, the takeaway there.
Yeah, I agree with her 100%. I don't know, Greg, you've done a lot of paranormal investigating, been in many different haunted spots around the world. What type of questions do you find elicit the best responses for you?
Well, I agree. The ones that elicit the worst responses is, how did you die? Did it hurt? Do you know you're dead? That sort of thing. The most active stuff that I've seen is when it's participatory. It's you're kind of going down their line, music, having a good time, not being being creepy. These very, very, strange things or synchronicities kind of pop up during that I've seen. So
Matt Johnson says, be respectful. They can follow you home. That is a current thought. I don't know that I firmly believe in that. But it's a thought out there. Richard also brings up, do ghosts get bored? I would think so. Who should I go scare today? Well, and I get the comedy aspect of the last part of your comment, but I do think that ghosts get bored. And I think maybe that's when they get most restless, is when they feel like they're at a frustration point, a breaking point. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to be experienced. And they're doing their very best to get our attention. So I do think that there is some elements to that. And, certainly when filming the TV shows I've been a part of, if we go into a location that had been abandoned for a long period of time, like the Queen Mary was a perfect example. I kept calling them the hungry ghosts because nobody had, during COVID, that was the longest period of time people had not been aboard that ship. And the spirits were so used to interacting and having that human life infusion aboard the ship that I think it really unsettled the spirits to have it taken away from them. And that's why it was getting so active aboard the ship again.
yeah, that movie, The Others, we've talked about that before. And it seems like to me that is kind of very similar to the way spirits will act in a lot of different situations. They're confused and not quite sure what's going on, and in some have no concept of time whatsoever. So
there's a really interesting movie that you might not think of as paranormal so much, but it's Star Trek Generations. So bear with me on this. Let's go high nerd class. But the concept of this is that during one of his away missions, Kirk is actually sucked into this nexus, which seems to be almost like heaven or the in-between world between life and death. And throughout the entire movie, this evil doctor is trying to get back there. He had been there and had been pulled back out, and he was trying desperately to get back, which sounds like near-death experiences for a lot of people. They have that moment where they're engaged in the other side, and then they're pulled back to life, and it's a shock to their system, and they want to go back. And what's interesting is Kirk goes in, and 80 years later, Picard enters the Nexus to find Kirk. And to Kirk, it's just been moments. And he is reliving, and Sandra asks, do they keep reliving their former life? Kirk is reliving these highlight reel moments from his life, like it's being shown to him. But what he starts to realize is in these scenes, in these moments, he's alone. He knows that his fiance is upstairs. He knows that he's going to go riding later with a friend, but you never see that element of it. So I think they may relive parts of their life trying to recapture that moment or that essence. And that would make sense as to why some spirits appear in locations as they were at that age or stage in their lifetime. So they could very well be reliving those different elements of who they were. Deborah Freeman says, why would spirit only be one place awaiting interaction? My experience is of many places, so simultaneously. Why would spirit only be one place awaiting interaction? I don't think they are. I think we've talked about that throughout the year too, Deborah, is that there are different places. Like grandma's spirit is being seen as a child in her childhood home. She's being seen as an elderly woman in the home she passed away in. I don't think that there are these laws of logic and physics that seem to work on the other side the way we think that they should. So I think that people can experience spirits in different ways and in different forms and in different locations at different stages of their life.
You know, there's some really interesting nurses that are on Instagram, and the hospice nurses, and they will record some of those times where people are passing, and the things that people are seeing. They'll be talking to people. My mother was like that. She before she passed, she was describing a train depot, and there was a man there and a little boy there to pick her up, to take her on the train. And she was interacting with them, talking to them. And I find that incredibly fascinating with some folks that are in hospice and being monitored very closely. It's very interesting.
And great points, right? And there are different hospice workers and employees that talk about these different elements and experiences. Sometimes even in the failing hours or days of a person's life, they will see the out of body spirit roaming the halls or trying to communicate. After this question that's up, Chachi, I want to go back. I've got a question lined up that somebody threw in a little bit ago. No, that's fine. Cosmic Joe Chronicle says, what paranormal device has the best for good evidence? I think that kind of depends on who's utilizing the equipment, what they're doing. I have great response with my audio recorder. I've had some good response with some of the Spirit Box technology. It just depends. I have friends that can get stuff really clearly on the Ovilus that I don't get, or on the Mel meter that I can't get. So I think it just depends on the practitioner and the tool that they're most comfortable with, and how that spirit elects to make itself be seen and heard. So, yeah. Anything else any of you want to add to that? Okay, perfect. No, that's good. That's good.
Dave.
M asked me here, couldn't that be why Lizzie Borden got upset when you were there at her house, Mr. Schrader? I'm not sure what the question is regarding, since we've covered a lot, but Lizzie Borden, the spirit, I believe, was a fragment of who she was. It was an element of who she was. And it may not even be a fully realized essence of who she was, but maybe just that perturbed, scarred essence or element that was left behind, that one that went through the trials, that went through everything, that believed she truly was innocent. And that might be what frustrates her. I think calling her back to the bed and breakfast where the murders took place is cruel. If she really had nothing to do with that and you keep calling upon her, is she forced to come back and relive those moments? She moved across town and lived in another home, changed her name, and wanted to be known as Lisbeth. And I think that's the way to leave it. That's why in that episode, when we wrap up the seance, we wrap up the situation, and it comes down to the fact that it was just so many lies had been told about this woman that it's now inconsequential to did she do it or didn't she do it? It's not our job to keep calling back an essence or an energy to a place to keep making them relive that traumatic experience. So that's my concept of it. And that's why we went to her final home, Ravencroft, I believe is the name of it. That sounds like something out of a book, but I think that's what it was, Ravencroft. And we did prayers there and addressed her by her name and asked for forgiveness for harassing her. And we just did a prayer to help her soul kind of find peace. So there's that. Do ghosts have a sense of humor and tricksters? Chachi, did you have something you wanted to add to the last question?
No. Deb actually had another great question that I've actually wondered myself. So let's go ahead and answer this one. Then I want to get to her other question, though.
All right. So do ghosts have a sense of humor? Yes. I've encountered ghosts that can be very funny and are being sarcastic and have given us some funny answers. I'm trying to remember where we were, but it was Shane Pittman and I were investigating somewhere, and it was like the equivalent of a "your mama" joke was the answer we got back, and the two of us just burst out laughing. So I do feel that the spirits have a sense of humor and are willing to inject. When I went to the Queen Mary with Grant Wilson from TV's Ghost Hunters, and we were investigating at one point, he was making these fart noises with his mouth, allegedly. And he had a recorder going, and you hear us talking and you hear him do the, and then we'd laugh and da-da-da. And when we played it back very clearly, at one point, you hear me talking as he starts to speak. Both of our voices are crossing over. And in that instant, you hear this little girl start giggling. So I think she was getting the fart joke. Fart jokes are funny whether you're dead or alive. Let's just face it. So that I think does show that
Universal.
There's plenty of stories about people experiencing tricksters. That's for sure.
Right.
So I think there's a good foundation.
But I think tricksters, a lot of people assume, are more on the negative. The tricksters are ones that maybe tried to imply that there's somebody close to you when they're not. So I don't know in what element you mean tricksters. If you mean just smart ass ghosts, yes, like I said, that will be me. If you mean as in something demonic screwing with you and they're a trickster and they're lying, I do believe that exists as well, but I don't, I just trying to clarify what the word trickster means on that. Chachi, what was the follow-up question you had from Deb? I would ask if they watch me in the shower.
So the reason I put this up, I know she put an LOL in there, but in your private, most intimate moments, let's call it that, do we believe, or do you believe, because I've always wondered this, that we are being watched? And is it different from maybe a past spouse, lover, parent, sister, brother, friend?
Grandma,
yeah, exactly.
Grandma's watching over me. Ooh,
so
man.
quick to grandma. Jeez.
Yeah.
I think there's a trauma there. We need
Yeah.
Let's go round robin on this. Colonel, what do you think? Do you think ghosts watch us in our most vulnerable moments?
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to switch to a different mode of transmission here because you guys are coming in hard. So sorry. I'll answer that shortly.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll disconnect with the Colonel while he attempts to make communication through 21st century technology. The hamster apparently has died on his spinning wheel and is unable to continue.
Look at us. We're back.
Greg, what are your thoughts? Are we watched in our most vulnerable moments by the spirit?
I really hope not. I mean, obviously there's a lot of theory behind, having a guardian angel. Your grandmother's your guardian angel, or your mom, or whoever has passed that was close to you. Oh, they're watching over you. Boy, I hope not.
Yeah. What do you think, Sweet Tea? Do ghosts spend time checking us out?
Yep. Here's my theory.
Wow.
Yup. There's no question. Yup.
If they're at a point, if they're just like lost spirits, that's one thing. But if it's just loved ones coming back to see us, they see us doing stuff and it's just like, oh, you guys are still in your human form and doing your weird animalistic stuff. It's fine. We get it. It's just what happens. They don't care.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just weird human stuff.
Good.
They're
Sandra
above that.
Kincaid, Sandra Kincaid, thank you for the $19.99 donation, and Happy New Year's to you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now in the
Yay!
21st century from what
Look
I
at that
believe-
guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
4K.
Actually, yeah, it's like what a concept. This Wi-Fi stuff. It just really works, doesn't it?
Yes.
Does
So
now.
did you
Until
want to weigh?
2023, Colonel.
Yeah. Do you want
know.
to?
I
You
know.
want to weigh in now, Colonel? On do you believe that spirits watch us in vulnerable moments?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if they watch you in vulnerable moments, they're going to watch you in. Blah, 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 blah. They're going to watch.
You gotta put that on a shirt, Colonel.
Yeah, I've only had one beer. They're going to watch you all the time. I mean, it's silly. They're not going to be like, oh, they're going to the bathroom. I better watch over here
Man.
TV, see what's going on over here. It's just one of those things, you know.
They don't care.
Can shut up.
They don't care. Like Sweet
My
Pea
mom
said
cares.
perfectly.
My
He
mom
said,
cares.
they don't care, right?
Nah.
Conchetta Bertoldi wrote a book about Do Ghosts Watch Me in the Shower? And she is a medium and psychic, and she does believe that. I will tell you that I've investigated many homes where a lot of the activity takes place in the bathroom. And people will be taking showers and you hear humming, or messages sometimes are scrawled in the fog on the mirror. Sometimes they will see through the frosted window pane of their shower. They'll see somebody sitting out there. They'll open the door and it's not there. So sure, if you're a perv in the real world, why wouldn't you be a perv as a ghost and hanging out? The Stanley Hotel, in their main lobby, if you go downstairs, there's a bathroom, a ladies' room down there, and a lot of women would complain that they would be in there, and all of a sudden, the toilet paper would just start unspooling itself while they were sitting there. The toilet would flush while they were sitting on the stool, and this was not when there were the motion-activated toilets. Many also would complain about doing their business and look up and see somebody standing out in the mainway looking at them through the crack in the door. And when they would try to excuse them, pardon me, I'm in here. Please move on. And the person would stand there till they got up, cleaned up, opened the door, and the person would be gone. So bathrooms are known to be haunted. And Winnie and I were at the Palmer House Hotel in Sauk Center, Minnesota. And Winnie was using my SLS camera, and she went into Lucy's room. And as you walk around the corner, there's a hot tub area and then the bathroom. And Winnie captured what appeared to be this figure standing in the bathroom. And all of a sudden, another figure came up by her, and it looked as though they began to have intimacy. And then the one figure clutched the other by the neck and started choking. And when he said something, he like dragged her off into the other side of the bathroom. You remember that, Chachi?
I totally remember that. I'm a little distracted by the Colonel at the moment.
Yeah.
He seems to be trying to get his beta tapes all set up properly.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
That
Titanic.
was amazing.
So wait, question.
Yes.
Like, isn't there a theory that water is like a conductor for spirits? So like, couldn't that be the reason why they're always in the bathroom?
Yeah, very well could be. That's why basements, attics, and bathrooms might be it. You've got the metal piping, sometimes copper piping. You've got the water, but I'm not a scientist. I know that's confusing a lot of you. I'm not a scientist.
Wow.
But
Wow.
that could have something to
I
do.
feel like that's
Yeah.
not what I've been told.
Pixie, paranormal Pixie, Laura,
Well-
Chach, just leave it for a second. Paranormal Pixie gives us a $5 donation and says, I was tapped on the shoulder by a ghost while alone. Were you in the bathroom, though? Paranormal Pixie. Oh, yes, in the shower.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Grief.
Hold
Okay,
on. Let me get something straight here, Dave. So
Yes.
you have the person that drinks probably the three of the other individuals in the show under the table doing the admin function.
Because he's so focused on it anyway.
Valid
But I'm
concern.
trying to get to making sure we can recognize the people that are making donations on this episode.
Okay.
And he just doesn't care. He's willy and nilly right now with what's going on.
This next question is my favorite one so far. I apologize.
Okay, go ahead. Throw it up. Paranormal Pixie says, what is on your paranormal supernatural bucket list for 2024 for each of the P60 crew? All right, Chachi, that's your favorite question. What is
Wow.
your your list. What is that?
Did Colonel just give himself a thumbs up?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Life is short.
He's participating and watching at the same time.
Yes.
I got to do my laundry at some point. Okay.
Dave, what's the place you're going to in April or May? Or it's a hotel.
The Palmer House
Palmer,
Hotel.
yes.
in April.
No, Palmer House.
That's one of them. I don't know, man. I've got a lot of trips coming up this year.
Come
and I
on,
can't remember.
Chachi.
Yeah. Anywho,
I want to hit the Crescent Hotel. That's
in
my
Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Yep, that's my bucket list item.
That
Okay.
place is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been
You
there.
gotta go, Josh.
Weird experiences. So Chachi
Yeah.
wants to do the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs.
The
Also,
Colonel and I.
Intrigue Theater. Our good friends Sean Paul and Juliana Fay, the illusionists, have their main headquarters there, and they do some amazing shows. All right, Party G, Greg, what would be your bucket list for this year?
For what it's worth, the Colonel and I have been to the Crescent, and we've eaten.
we have.
pizza there.
We have.
Yeah, it was actually a very, very
It
good
was
week.
a pretty creepy place, I would
Yeah.
have to say.
Did you have an experience, Colonel?
Yeah, I mean, nothing specific. It's just when you walk in, we walked into our room for the first time, and my wife was like, "Man, I don't know if I could stay in here." And I'm like, "Well, why? What's going on with it?" She just had the weirdest feeling of that room.
Yeah, that is weird because she's never had problems with me in any of the hotel rooms we've been in.
Well, that's what she's told me. Yeah, and I'm not sure how to take that, quite frankly, but yeah.
All right. Just the Colonel is gone.
Wow.
All right. Greg, where would you like to go?
Well, I have this real desire to go to Portugal, but there's a couple of things in Portugal I'm looking at, but we're going to be doing Tombstone again, and so there's a couple of locations in Tombstone I want to go back to and continue investigations over at Boot Hill and also one of the mines there.
Okay. All right. And Colonel, what about you? What is your bucket list for this year?
For this year, wow, I would have liked to have gone to Egypt with you guys last year, but for this year, wow, that would be my bucket list, like, period, is Egypt. That just seems like it would have been so freaking cool.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry you didn't make it. We missed you. It was truly one of the best trips I've ever been on. Sweet Tea, what's on your bucket list to hit as a haunted location this year?
Haunted or paranormal? Because I thought it was paranormal.
Whichever. Yeah, go for it.
This is going to be contradictory to anything I've ever said, but I can't wait to go camping with my friend Jenny and try and find some Bigfoot in the upper Northwest.
Pacific Northwest. Okay.
No, the upper Northwest.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I'm from the Midwest. Shut up.
Maps are
great.
hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go again.
Here we
Here we go again. Let me see. What would be mine this year? I don't know. That's gosh. Get a
You
chance
must
to
have
see so many
something.
amazing places that I really. And I'm heading back to Gettysburg this year. I'm going to be out in England again this year. I'm going to be at so many amazing places.
It's so bad. I'm so sorry
where
for
can we
you.
find where you're going to be?
Go to darknessevents.com.
Yeah,
His phone is
and that's where he
dinging.
wants to be the most.
Guys, remember when that ding happens, what do I have to do?
It's time to have a drink. Yeah. What is this? What is JR Scary hashtag shut up? Oh, I forgot. That's the Sweet Tea comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like some of these answers. The Pompeii ruins, that would be cool. I would, you know what?
In there.
I would love to go back to Hawaii, and I would love to go in one of the Night Marchers locations and try to have, although I hear it's not good to have a confrontation with them, I still would really like to have that moment. Speaking of moments, we need to take just a quick break. We'll come back. We've got more to discuss right here on the very best in Paranormal Talk Radio. I'm Dave Schrader. This is my crew. We're here for you. This is New Year's Eve edition. And we have so much to chat about right after this.
In winter's grasp, a chilling tale unfolds. Wanted Magazine's issue 40. Secrets to be told. Al Capone's ghost, in shadows it creeps. A spectral mobster, where darkness seeps. 14 signs of a poltergeist's might. Haunting whispers in the silent night. Pascagoula UFO, 50 years gone by. A cosmic encounter, reaching the sky. The ghost train of Tate Bridge echoes in the mist. A phantom journey, where souls exist. Wanted Magazine issue 40 is out now. Available from selected outlets and bit.ly/Haunted Magazine. Don't be normal, be paranormal.
Check out Haunted Magazine this year. Don't get ghosted like the Colonel has done to us.
Wow.
Is he there? We just can't see him? Is he haunting a bathroom somewhere? Hey, guys, guess what? It's time for...
It's time now for Upon Further Review.
All right, I tasked two of my all-time favorite people to watch a movie and report on it today so that we have something to do tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Sweet Tea, I tasked you with watching what was one of the most hotly anticipated horror movies of 2023, because it seems 2 years ago, right now with all the news that Mickey and Minnie Mouse have slipped back into public domain and that those original Steamboat Willie and early versions are now in the public domain and people can make them into books and songs and stories and cartoons. A lot of people forgot that Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain 2 years ago, which spawned a horror movie based on Winnie the Pooh. And I sent you to watch it. But before we get into the review, let's take a quick look at the trailer for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. All right, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I got to tell you, the actual trailer looks fun and creepy to me. Sweet Tea, what did we end up? What did we end up with?
You know, I'm not one for slashers. Not my favorite genre of horror. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That's good.
You know, lots, as I expected gore. That was fine. It was expected. It was very gory,
It's
very
right in the name,
bloody.
Blood and Honey. Yeah.
Right. You expect
the
it.
Pooh.
What I didn't expect was all the viscous, stringy fluids coming out of Pooh's face at all times. All times. You're welcome.
That is
Hey,
horrific.
yeah, it was. It was disgusting.
So what's the count? It's been years. Christopher Robin left 100 Acre Wood to grow up and left his friends behind that turned feral. And when he returns, only Piglet, who is now a full-on killing boar machine, and Pooh, a silent but deadly predator.
It was a story about abandonment, innocence lost, and women making poor choices.
Really?
Pretty
That's
deep.
a good
Winnie the
movie
Pooh.
right there.
It really was.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 phantom, it sucks, 5 phantoms, it's a must-see. Where would you rate Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Honestly, I'll give it a solid 3 phantoms out of 5. Honestly.
3
And
phantoms?
I'm not a slasher lady, but it wasn't terrible.
Well, in my heart, you are a slasher lady. So
You. I
Yeah.
don't know what it
Nice.
means.
I don't know that that's true.
Winnie
either,
the
but-
Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. So
Didn't we review this thing
And there were
once
boobs.
before?
we talked about it, but I don't know that we
Oh.
ever actually had anybody review it. Maybe you know what it probably was, Greg? It was one of those movies I asked you to watch and review, and
Yeah.
that you never actually got around to. Chachi, if we're boring you, just let us know, buddy.
I got bullets in my drink. Look at that.
Your microphone's off, buddy. Your
Deal with the
microphone's-
bullets. Okay.
The story was, I'm sorry, you talked to Chachi.
No, this is your time.
The story that you guys are talking about was the kids were shown this instead of an Disney Winnie the Pooh movie,
Yeah.
and it was upsetting for them because kids are stupid.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She's not wrong.
Wow.
Kids are dumb and they get all bent out of
Dumb.
shape when they
They
see
get
blood and
dumber.
gore. Yeah.
Well, I do think that was one of the movies that you had Greg review, but
He never
as
got
in
around
the
to watch
standard format, he started reviewing the actual preview that you had shown.
Hey,
to-
That was a different movie altogether.
Colonel,
That was a movie of his own stupid choosing that we were forced
Colonel,
to do.
on the doll, show him where I touched you. I obviously touched
What
you.
the?
That is,
How did we get here, Greg?
dismissive and weird and rude and
Yeah.
cold, and I feel like you
Wow.
need a shower after that.
Mhm.
Wait, we've got some more action happening backstage. Let me get to this because I want to make sure we recognize Tracy, $4.99, and Tombstone loves Greg. You're still Homery Marshall.
Horny
Oh
Marshall.
yeah, I am a Homery Marshall.
You are
You're
an honorary Marshall.
Yeah.
All right,
honorary.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robin Freiberger throws $20 love our way, and
Woo.
Raphael says Happy New Year, P60. Thank you, Raphael. So
Yay.
donation
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Awesome.
Hey, let me just clear up why. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The reason I was looking down was this whole thing about coming into the public domain. I wanted to understand, like, how is that fair and equitable to the original creator of the product? And what I ran across was 10 years from tonight,
Mhm.
Superman is going to enter the public domain.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Followed by Batman the next year and Wonder Woman the next year.
it's 70
Wow.
years, right? Isn't it 70
It's
years?
70 years from when the author dies, or
Mhm.
95 years from when the item was created.
Right. Well, I think they're figuring at that point it's outside of the normal realm so that it is free for people to to take that and find new ways to repurpose it, which is interesting because I just watched this little news deal that they did on Disney, and they said I think Walt would actually be pleased with it because Walt, for his original cartoons, repurposed old story ideas and created what we now know as some of the most classic cartoons that are based on that. Oh, hold on. 10,
Oh,
9,
what's going on?
What's
What?
up?
7,
Huh?
Six.
What's happening?
Well, what are we
Five.
doing?
I don't.
4,
Well,
3,
are we
Where'd the
gonna?
Colonel go?
1. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, babe.
I
Sweet
don't know what's
tea.
happening.
Concerned that you're all morons. I count down and you don't know what's happening on a New Year's Eve show.
Where's Colonel?
You
Where'd the
started
Colonel
yelling
go?
at us.
Well, it's because it's the countdown time. I don't stop time just to let you know, oh, by the way, we're now going to count down from 10. I just hoped you morons would join in on the countdown, not what is happening? The place thing are going.
Are
Why'd
you?
the Colonel leave? Did
He
I?
had to go
A
celebrate.
lie. There probably got called into duty. You don't know. Madeline Klasky says, I'm a huge Winnie the Pooh fan. I think this movie is just horrible. And whoever wrote this movie and anyone involved in this movie have a screw loose.
She's
Thank
not
you.
wrong.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's
And there goes Chuck.
one take on it.
I didn't have any skin in the fight or hair.
Yeah.
I don't know how that goes. I don't know.
Oh, Tabitha, thank you. Happy New Year. So many great Happy New Year's wishes coming in for us, the team. Thank you very much. Yeah, Colonel probably forgot to feed the meter over in Hawaii because he went out like right at midnight. It just disconnected him. He only paid for that 1 hour of service, and the internet went away.
And fireworks are going crazy
My
out.
daughter's
Big time,
watching.
yeah.
Jen says, thanks, Dad, because our TV is off. So see, she appreciated me calling.
Who's that?
My daughter, Jen. Ladies and gentlemen, somewhere have you moved into another
He's in
room?
another location.
I had to.
He had to run down.
Literally, I
He had to
lost
run down to the lobby.
I
and-
think I'm in a lead-lined condo, I believe. So
Are you in the bathroom now?
yeah, I am actually. I'm
Let's
sitting on
be
the
Be
haunting
careful. The
theory.
dead are watching you, Colonel.
Good God.
By the end of this whole show, you're going to know every ounce of my condo and how it's
Pardon
not
me.
built for Wi-Fi.
It'd be an inch, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be every inch?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that
Liz, no. Chachi,
Stop it.
Oh no.
It's It's time now for Upon Further Review.
All right, my second favorite member was tasked with watching another movie to report on, and he failed miserably in doing it, so I watched it just in case.
Oh,
You, Greg, thanks for not watching Totally
where
Killer.
did you tell me this? I
Oh my
swear,
God,
man.
Sachi,
Oh
how
my
many
God,
times I
no,
have to tell
really,
this guy?
really,
Oh.
is this happening right now?
Did you text it to me or?
Yeah, it was in our group text, and you said okay. I'm done with you. But I
Let
watched
me read
it.
exactly what the text says, Dave. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Dave says this. Greg, will you watch this movie? Greg, yes, I will spend the rest of the afternoon watching it multiple times to ensure a clear, you said this, Greg, clear
Mhm.
understanding before I share it with the audience.
Yeah, he didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, the movie I did watch, because I'm a professional, is Totally Killer. I love the concept that it's a throwback movie. It's got this 80s vibe and feel to it. It's time travel and a slasher movie. And here's the trailer. You can watch the movie right now on Amazon Prime. As far as 80s throwback movies go, I'm a sucker. From the beginning of The Wedding Singer all the way to Totally Killer, this new movie. I love when we revisit the 80s. I love the kitschiness. I love all the little Easter eggs. And you'll notice, okay, so Kieran Shipka plays the lead role in this. She was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She's wearing the leather jacket that was in the movie Can't Buy Me Love that ended up getting splashed with red wine. And she spends the whole movie trying to get that red wine removed, if you remember that movie. When she Yeah, so interesting. Fun little bits. There's these little nuggets throughout the entire movie. I'm not a big fan of Kieran Shipka. I don't think she's a very good actress. She's very wooden to me in a lot of things. In this one, it plays to her benefit because she is this kind of woke 2023 kid being thrown back to the 80s, having to listen to the way that we treated each other and talk to one another. They play that part a little too much from time to time, and it gets a little tiresome, but there's some funny bits in the fact, like when they're smoking weed and they're all passing around the joint, and her character's had like 3 or 4 tokes and nothing's happening to her, and she looks at it and it's all just garbage weed that we used to smoke in the 80s that worked, and she's used to medicinal marijuana now because it's legalized. So there's little fun bits like that, and I thought it was a well done movie. I like that the killer's mask is like a throwback to Max Headroom. It's not Max Headroom, but it definitely has that Max Headroom look to it. It was fun. 1 out of 5 Phantoms. I would go a solid 3 3/4 on this movie.
Right.
It's not exactly a 4, which to me is always a solid. It's 3 3/4. I think it's entertaining. I think it's interesting. It was missing something for me. I can't tell you what it was, but I enjoyed it overall. So that one is on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. It's called Totally Killer. And I do hope that there's a sequel to it at some point. And it's made by Blumhouse. So, and produced by the people that did the movie Megan. Yes, that is the moral, Joe, kind of. I feel like that
Watch to find out.
Yeah, in that comment when he goes, imagine if she just did that, she'd still be alive. Well, let's not make that be our lesson that we learn. Yeah. Hey, I want to thank Adrian Lewis McCloskey for making a $50 donation through our Venmo, which is at Paranormal 60. Thank you so much for showing a little love over there as well. And now suddenly my dog has decided this is the perfect time to come chew a bone a foot away from me. So if you hear the chowing and noises, that's him. Lisa Burgess, $4.99 coming our way, sending wishes for an amazing 2024 to the P60 family. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Lisa. Thank you so much. Look at Greg's shirt. Still waiting for him to twirl plates on a stick. I like that.
That was good.
Hey, guys and gals, we have an exciting bit of news. As you know, the Paranormal 60 podcast unit that we have here, this little broadcast umbrella, we shift and have fun with interjecting new shows and giving people a chance to be exposed to new programs. So Mondays, you always get the chance to hear New England Legends with Jeff and Ray. Tuesdays, you get the Paranormal 60 in the audio. Wednesdays, we were having a podcast. They're no longer an active podcast, so we said goodbye to them. Thursdays, we have the Paranormal 60. Friday, we've got True Hauntings, our friends from Australia, doing their podcast. That left an opening on Wednesday nights, and soon that opening will be filled. Let's welcome a special guest in, the co-host of the new podcast that will be opening. Her name is Jenny Monroe. Jenny, welcome to the program.
Oh, hi.
My favorite Jenny.
Oh, hi. Tressa. I didn't know you'd be here.
I didn't know you were going to be here. What are you doing?
Hi, guys.
None of
Oh, I'm
us
at
knew
this
that.
party.
Oh my
It's-
God, it looks so fun.
So it's so fun. It's so fun. I'm drinking my sparkly water.
Oh,
Oh, that's
fancy.
great.
Mhm.
What did you do today?
Yeah. Oh, I just set up for the party.
Oh, that's
I did a lot of
great.
party
Did you
prep.
make like an hors d'oeuvre or something to share?
I made little I believe they're called wieners and blankets.
Oh, that
Pigs
sounds
and blankets. Pigs and
delightful.
blankets might be
No.
the more politically correct term in our.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
ladies are talking.
Oh. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, I made those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made
That's
those. And as
great.
as you could see, it's a hit.
It looks like a great party, Jenny. You're
Oh,
having a
it's so
great
much
time.
fun. It's so much fun.
Not on Colonel, and apparently Chachi's is backstage flinging us around like gel.
Yeah,
gun.
I thought this was the Jenny and Sweet Tea show. I was like,
Yeah.
getting rid of
That's what we're introducing.
Yeah.
Jenny, Sweet Tea, you've got a brand new podcast which will begin airing Wednesday nights or Wednesdays on the
Is that
stream
true?
here for the audio. Tell us a little bit about the
Mhm.
podcast and what they can expect.
Yeah, Jenny, do that.
Oh, I'll do that. Yes. Well, we're going to cover a lot of paranormal things. We're going to go for cryptids. We're going to go for some, high strangeness, a little bit of UFOs, a little bit of alien, a little bit of whatever. We're just going to sprinkle it in there. I think we're going to have some special guests on from time to time. And we're going to talk about some subjects that you might be familiar with and some you might not be and
Oh,
let you know our thoughts on those.
And do we have a name for this fun time Joy Paranormal Radio program?
Sprinkling.
Tressa, did we come up with a name? Is that? I feel like we did.
I feel like you did.
I did. Oh, got it right
What is it?
here. Monsters Lounge.
Oh, hello.
Ah,
Mhm.
Nice.
Thank
Well,
you.
the Monsters Lounge will be up and available. Will it be this Wednesday? Is that the first episode or is it next week?
I believe it's next week, I think.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
I like a well thought out, well rounded.
I'm just along for the ride.
Sounds
It's
like
fine.
It will be next week. We're really excited about it. A little fine tuning, but yeah.
Excellent.
Any
Well,
chance I could be a guest on one of your shows?
Oh,
Yes, please.
yeah, please.
Mhm.
there goes the
Hey,
neighbors,
first
ladies.
guest, gonna be Chachi, it sounds like.
Here you go.
Scotchy.
Yeah,
Hashtag
right.
Scotchy.
Chachi's on this show, Scotchy's on their show.
I like it.
We are going to need a good appetizer, though. So
Yeah,
count
get your
me in.
pigs ready.
yeah.
Count me in, he says. Awesome. Well, ladies, congratulations. We'll look forward to adding you to the program guide. So in 2 weeks, you can hear New England Legends, Paranormal 60, The Monsters Lounge. You'll then hear the Paranormal 60 and True Hauntings. And then I have it on good authority that by the end of the month, on either Saturday or Sunday, we will be releasing a new true crime podcast hosted by some friends of ours. And that's all I can say right now. I'm not at liberty
Wow.
to mention who those friends are,
interesting.
but they are some ladies of well-renowned, and they are going to be examining mysteries and murder and mayhem and maybe tipping back a Merlot or two while they discuss these cases. So keep an eye on that. So the Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader banner just continues to grow, and we are thankful that you'll be a part of that show with us, Jenny and Sweet Tea. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Jenny.
you.
No. Thank you, Dave.
No,
well,
thank
thank
you
you,
guys.
Mark.
No, you guys, thank you.
Chachi,
thank
thank you.
Shut
Yeah.
up, thank you.
Greg,
As long as you don't
That
think
seems
you know who in
harsh.
the bottom
You guys
left.
shut up,
we're good.
thank you.
Nobody's thanking me.
exactly.
Thank you,
And-
Greg.
Shut up.
You know what?
Thank you and
Thank
your
you,
bullet.
Greg. Thank you, Greg.
Let's get back to some live questions from the audience. We've only got a little bit of time left here. Do me a favor, folks, rate and review these podcasts. Go wherever you listen to the podcast, rate and review them. Help us out. Give some love to the program to let people know, and they'll find us a little bit easier that way. Share these podcasts as well. And if you're watching the live video stream, hit the like button. Just go ahead and hit it, and hit the subscribe, the little bell, and then make sure that you choose every episode so that you never miss a minute of the best in paranormal programming. We are the Paranormal 60. All right. Do we have any questions from the peanut gallery out there? Oh, look at this. Jessica Davenport's already saying my favorite podcasts all in one place. Yes.
That's it.
That's right, Jessica.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And look, JR Scary's donating $100 to Children in Need for another hashtag shut up moment.
Shut up,
And Mark, no, thank you. Shut up and take it. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Shut up.
I think we need a new t-shirt that says the Paranormal 60 and then the word shut up just across.
Right.
Dave, shut up.
Chi-Chi, are you good? Did you change your name? Chi-Chi? Addie?
That's yeah.
I like it more.
Always
kinda.
good, Addie.
I
Man.
actually do. Yeah, geez, it's better.
Chi-Chi does kind of
That's what I always call him, Chi-Chi.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a question. Yvonne King. Question to all of you. Do you believe in extraterrestrial beings?
Yes.
Okay. That's this down. Jenny, do you believe in extraterrestrial beings?
Absolutely.
Greg, ETs, do they exist?
Oh yeah.
All right. Martin, Colonel,
If
military.
Greg says they do, they do.
Okay. I like that. Chachi, ET.
If Marty
aliens
says they do,
exist?
they do.
All right.
What about me? I said so.
Nobody.
Yeah, well, but everybody
No,
else
come
is
on.
joining in on the bandwagon. I'm just making sure we're aware of that. That's exciting. So everybody here believes that extraterrestrials exist. Gary Lynn says, "What's your greatest change? What's your greatest change? Your shorts moments." Okay, I had to reread that because
You understand that now, Dave?
yeah. So what was like the scariest moment that almost caused me to poop my pants, or did cause me to poop my pants?
Correct.
And
Taco
I
Bell.
think truly getting knocked down. Maybe I got my very first EVP at Rolling Hills Asylum, and I was still kind of not sure how I felt about the idea of recorded ghost voices. That was still kind of, even though I was friends with the guys with Ghost Hunters and they were getting EVP, there was just something about it that made me question. And we went into a room and we were doing EVP, and as we're leaving, my first EVP was, "Wait, don't go." And that hooked me from that point forward. So that was one of those where it shook me to my core, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is real. There are voices amongst us that we can't necessarily hear." So that would be my moment. How about you, Party G?
You know, my story would be too long to tell here, and
Could you just give us a synopsis? Try it in like a paragraph or less. Just hit us up. What was the close to changing your britches moment for you?
I was compelled to try to swim to an island off Sitkaladak Island in Alaska.
What were you being chased by? Some
No,
See,
man.
yours-
It's the only true, really experience I've ever had. Very.
Oh.
I was compelled to try to get to a place called Refuge Rock.
I
I have
thought
no
this
clue of
supposed to
why.
be-
And
What you don't know what brought you there? What was the scary thing about it? Just that you felt compelled beyond your control. You were going there.
yeah, you know, have you ever watched one of those movies where like the guy's staring at the fire and he's sticking his hand toward the fire and you're going, "Oh, don't stick your hand." What do you know, he's being controlled somehow. I feel like I was in a situation like that. Well, I was trying to give that as an example, Dave.
Okay.
Have you ever watched a movie where someone was being controlled to do something really bad to themselves?
Yes.
And you're like, "Oh man, don't do it. Don't do it."
Yeah.
It was very similar to that.
And
Did
you ever come up with an answer of what it was and what happened to you?
No, but I'll go back.
All right. How about you, Chach? What's your scary moment?
Earlier today, Dave,
Wow, recent.
Okay, I'm listening.
my wife walked into the living room and she reminded me of a time when I was out by our garage one evening and this was in the early days. If I wasn't sure if I was a skeptic or a believer, and clear as day, kind of my arms. Oh, I thought you kicked me up. My arm right now, literally standing up. I saw what appeared to be, to me, my explanation, like a shadow type person, 8, 10, 12 feet tall, very, very tall, black figure coming right towards me. I was literally just taking the garbage out. I wasn't investing. I wasn't doing anything, but I saw this figure coming towards me, and I ran in the house.
Yeah.
And I was like hyperventilating. I couldn't believe what had just happened, because nothing like that has ever happened before or since that happened.
All right. That's a good one. That's freaky. I just happened to notice, talking about strange phenomena, how if you now notice the top row, all of the men on the top row have very similar glasses, Chachi. The cult of Dave is
Yeah. What's going on
and I'm
here?
wondering
Scott?
why you're holding off.
I prefer to associate myself with the ladies, Dave.
That makes all
You're only one
Fair way
chromosome
more
away, my friend.
Yeah.
Only one chromosome away.
One away, Keg. One
Yep.
away.
Get with the program, Josh. Okay, get
Yeah.
with the program.
Not a
By the way,
party, it's
Greg
not an estrogen
Colonel,
party.
loving the glasses, by the way. Congratulations,
Thanks,
gentlemen. You're
man.
now on the top tier.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Congratulations.
How about you, Sweetie? Have you ever had one of those moments, those life-changing, scary moments with something supernatural?
No, I've been trying to think if there's like some really hilarious joke I could say about a con, but I got nothing. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Jenny, what about you? Have you ever had one of those moments yet?
I have had one of those moments. I was in Arches National Park, away from the trail, and it was about, I want to say 11:30 at night. Out there to look at some stars and hang out and
Smoke
spend a
weed.
little solo time under the stars. And I was walking, and something skittered across the path in front of me. It was not an animal. It was long and dark and just skittered across. And I was
Ew.
just filled, and I was just filled with dread, absolute dread. All of the hair on my body stood up,
Yep.
and I hightailed it out of there.
All right. Very good. Colonel.
Shut up.
Yeah, just so you know,
Yeah.
Oh, Josh has something there.
What? I acknowledge Jenny's stories. It was a good story. I want to make sure we get everybody in.
I
We're running
acknowledge
out
that
of
you
time.
said something. I'm moving
I
on.
just want everyone to know, skittered is an actual word. Okay.
Skittered.
Yes.
I thought for sure Jenny was trying to pull one over us on us in the new year.
Pulls
So I looked up
pulls the
skittered.
silver one of us on us.
She's well read.
It
Don't
means to
skittered.
move
mess with
You're
her.
allowed
lightly or
to.
quickly or hurriedly.
Yeah.
So Jenny, you use that appropriately in a sentence.
Quick show of hands for the rest of the P60 crew. Who did not know that skittered was a word? He takes Greg off. I think that's incorrect. We'll leave you down there with the ladies, Chach.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we all knew skittered was a word, Chach.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Late. Yeah,
I
hashtag
was the only one?
hashtag skittered is your shirt for next
I
week.
already texted to the maker.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's awesome. Okay, Colonel, have you had
You know, kind of similar to Jenny. I was hiking up in the mountains, and all of a sudden, I was wearing a ball cap. All of a sudden, the ball cap comes off my head and goes like 4 feet in front of me. But it happened to be like an owl that grabbed it. It took off. I didn't see the owl. I just saw my hat fly off in front of me. But guys I were with are like, "Hey, did you see that owl?" And so that kind of freaked me out. But other than that, nothing really. It wasn't really paranormal. It was just something that was kind of freaky.
maybe you didn't hear the question. That's all right.
And she skittered.
It's skittered. His hat skittered away.
I was
off his
skittered.
head.
Yeah, I was skittered. Yeah,
Yeah. He damn near skittered his pants.
I skittered
Right
my
there.
Hat skittered off his head.
All right, we have time probably for one more. Happy Hogmanay from Scotland, everyone. Thank you, White
Yeah.
Witch, Linda the White Witch. It's credible, Marty. J.R.
Yep.
Scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the people backing you on this, Colonel, so that's all good.
I just
Yeah. Any other quick questions from the peanut gallery before we wrap up here in about 5 minutes?
So
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Colonel. Yeah.
Since was this
What? What?
I didn't
What?
touch it.
What?
And he's gone.
Yes.
What? Colonel, say again.
since this was supposed to be New Year's, kind of an event, should we have acknowledged the New Year at some point?
I think you were out. I think
We did. It was when you were knocked offline and had
Oh, really?
you'd put the 50 cents into the massaging bed and not into the
Okay,
internet.
I got it.
Yeah, it literally was at that moment. I go, 10, 9. You gotta go back and watch it because the idiots on this show were all like pennies. What's happening? What are we doing? It's a New Year's Eve show. I started counting down from 10 and
Right.
they flipped out, Marty, and then you vanished, which didn't make things better.
You were just yelling. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
Counting down from 10.
Colonel,
It's not-
just come home.
You may have wanted to explain what you were doing prior to.
I thought something was
It's a New
launching.
Year's Eve show. I need to explain to you.
What are we doing?
From 10?
Consider
thought it
the
was-
audience.
I thought it was
Like,
an
yo,
Apollo
Santa, what do
mission.
you do on the 24th? Come on, Marty.
Yeah, really.
I don't know what day it is. And
If
you can't
somebody
just start
could
yelling.
explain to us the meaning of the New Year's and what exactly takes place, that would make it so much better.
Yes, sir.
I looked down at my clock. We were at the 10-second mark. I jumped in like I did last year when I was by myself on the show,
Right,
and nobody freaked out.
Hey, it's all blending together. I have no idea why you're yelling. It's just a lot
Yeah.
of yelling.
It
Heard
was
you yelling
New
like-
Year's Eve.
What?
Yelling.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Well,
Yes.
then I withdraw my question then.
Oh God, hang on. What is this? Jessica says, Dave, it's their first New Year, not blacked out. That is true.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Their
Got
brains
that
are not
for you.
numbed by too much
Don't
alcohol
speak
at this
too
point.
soon.
Little do you guys know that the first 3 episodes of our new podcast, I'm just going to randomly start counting down and see what happens with Tressa.
That's right.
Yeah, I can tell you
What?
Oh, today.
Why are you? It's loud.
words, numbers. What does it mean? Good God. Here's what we all learned in that moment, that if they're holding the scissors and there's a red, a blue, and a green wire, and you start counting down,
No.
we're totally because they're gonna just flip instead of clipping. They're
I
just
think that was obvious from the get. I don't think that was a surprise.
It was a surprise
Wow.
to me. I now
Oh,
know I
wow.
can
I'm so
trust none of
sorry.
you, including this guy right here, Captain Cool. He's just
I thought it was like
Beaker from the Muppets as it was going down, while everybody else was flailing and screaming. He just got
I
nothing.
thought it was a
Wow.
Apollo launch or something. I didn't know what was going on.
Music thinks you're
Yeah,
funny,
he is
Jenny.
funny.
Oh.
But don't.
Music never said that about Party G.
Yeah,
Party G.
they're actually too sober to understand what's going on. Mark G says yes. They're used to only hearing numbers when they're drunk and then being able to count down. I
Dave,
understand that. Yes.
33 minutes to the next countdown.
Yeah. Well, I should
Wow.
let you all go then so that you can prepare for that. Or are you pushing me to go to the Paranormal 120,
Yes. Let's do
121.
it.
121? I would love to, but as you see, I'm about to, I think, get
Same.
disconnected.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I'm being frozen again on my
He's
own
frozen.
computer.
Oh,
listen,
no.
Now you know
Pete,
I
listen,
know.
it's us now, okay?
Yes.
It's our
Let's
show.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what we've waited for.
We'll
all
put on a
year.
play. We'll
Okay.
get a bit. Yes. I'm listening.
Greg,
Oh.
Yes.
this is your time to shine.
This is it.
Say
Greg.
something really good for our listeners before Dave gets back.
I am not going to.
That's
Oh,
what I
that
thought.
was great.
Okay.
That was
Yes.
We're gonna play Survivor, okay? It's
Yes.
down to the four of
Let's
us.
go. Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
Jenny, you're new.
Yeah.
Tell us a good story.
There was once a guy named Dave who was cool and awesome, and he put us on the network. And then there was a lady named Tressa. I don't know.
Oh, she did so well, sweet tea. Oh, it was so nice. Listen, Colonel, tell us.
Well, there's this guy I know. We call him Chachi.
Oh.
And Wow. Yeah, just go ahead and cut me off.
Yeah, that's probably not for you. All right, listen.
Mhm.
Sweet tea, earlier today when you and I were on the conference call talking
Yeah,
about tonight, right?
Mhm, mhm,
We
mhm.
said this could actually happen.
Yeah.
There could be a time where the rest of the
Uh,
Look, I've become a shadow person
yeah, I noticed that.
on my own program. I don't know what is happening, but it is another one of those moments when everything I hold near and dear is falling apart. So
It's a sign, Dave. It's a sign.
Oh,
There is-
Dave.
Oh,
Well,
there it is. We're all here. I want to thank everybody that was a part of tonight's show that came in from the cold to spend some time with us. Jenny, Monroe, Sweet Tea, the Monsters Lounge launches here in 2 weeks. Congratulations and thank you. Sweet Tea, you will continue to be part of the Paranormal 60 news crew, just so
Thank you.
people don't start inundating my email with that. Chachi, the Colonel, and Party G yourselves. Gentlemen, as always, thank you for all you do in bringing the entertainment and coming together. And I was told by the Colonel that he's working some things out that he may be able to join us more often.
All right.
Yes.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am apparently missing my last conscious memory of
Oh,
2020.
that is sad. That is
I'm
sad.
so sorry.
It is. It's so sad. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you have a blessed 2024, and I hope that we can entertain you forevermore. Tomorrow begins our third season of the Paranormal 60, and we are going deep into the supernatural and ghosts with amazing episodes. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, regular time, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Pacific, and 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Paranormal 60 YouTube channel and wherever you listen to the Paranormal 60. Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year, Dave.